Hello everyone, welcome back to New No Man's Sky 2.3. We're doing Perma 2020. Today we are going to continue farming and mining in Permadeath. We're going to extend the base out to a hot spot, and we're going to increase our power and add some containers. As you can see, I added 2 containers and I lost power, and that's because I only had one power electromagnetic generator over there, but I wanted to save that for this. Now our nitrogen hotspot is over there, and that's too far away from the base computer, which is right here. There it is. Now so far we haven't uploaded anything. We're just building. If you upload, apparently, I found this out from lava today. If you upload while your beacons are still on the ground, taking those beacons away isn't going to take the beacons away from your uploaded base. So let's start this thing. So we need to extend our base. And the simplest way to do that is to set down something cheap on your way out to your hotspot. And we're just going to start right here at the end of where our containers are going to be, which is right there. So we're going to start right here. And as we go along, every 20 or so use, we're going to drop another piece. Sometimes it stops working and your build menu turns off. All you need to do is drop a save point, do a manual save and reload, and that will start it back up again and make it so that you can continue to extend the base. A lot of people like to build complex pylons and make everything really pretty. I'm not too concerned with that. My purpose is getting the base done so that I can start taking advantage of it. And you don't want to go too fast while you're doing this, because you're just going to cause yourself problems if you're jetpacking and running and stuff. You need to get these set down so that your base stays valid. We do have to jetpack up that hill a little, though. We're slip sliding down the hill. Yesterday when I was doing this, I did actually have to restart my game. I had to reload a manual save. Alright. Now this isn't the exact spot where the nitrogen is strong enough. For that, we need to go back into the survey device, go back to the nitrogen, re-identify the spot, and you can see this is a C-class spot, so we're gonna need to put in a few extra. Now once you have that spot, I want you to look over on the right hand side of the screen, and it says local concentration 39%. We're just going to move slowly and try to change that number. There it goes down to 38, 39, 38. Get back into the 39. Now we're going to move this way a little bit. It goes back down to 39, or 38, and 39. So right here in this spot is where it's going to be strongest. Right there, I'm just going to drop a floor piece. There we go. This floor piece right here is going to represent the center of the hot spot. And anything that you build around that is going to be a little bit lower in strength. Now, you don't have to worry too much about it with a C-class, because we're going to have to build probably, 7 or 8 of these for a small permadeath base. And then we are going to go into the build menu and, oops, go into the build menu, there we go, and go over to gas extractor, and gas extractor number 1 right on the center of the spot right there. Back to power. And we need to make sure that we leave the connection open for the tube. Then we're just going to drag this line back to the base. And this is just the first gas extractor. We got too many pylons. Far too many pylons for the actual supply tube. You want to go as far as you can with that supply tube because it's expensive to build, and if you run out of materials in the middle of building it, you'll have to start all over again with the beginning of the supply tube. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of ferrite and carbon on you for the supply line before you start. And the least number of connections that you make, the less ferrite and carbon you'll have to use. This is just a power line. There was a rock there. Oops, I missed. Here we go. All right. Now we'll shut that off. And the next thing that we need to do is go put in a little bit more power because we lost power because of the containers over there. So we'll just go over there and put our build menu on. See, I used triangles on the way out to the power, and then I buried the power line. Now the reason I have the build menu on is so I'll know if it shuts off before I get to my power supply. Okay. And I used a little piece on that, didn't I? Oh, it's round. That's right. All right. Now we're going to pile up some more power. And we're going to use the build camera for this, because we want to go way up there. It says I can only make 3, which means I think I'm out of magnetized ferrite is what I'm out of. We'll have to go make some. And you can see they stack right on top of each other. I'm not a perfectionist by any stretch, and to me it doesn't matter too much if they're off by a little bit. But you can see that you can line them up. And we're out of building material. Now we need to add a power line between them. I'm just going to go into the build camera so we can go up here and grab one, bring it down, bring it down, and there we go. All right, now the power line is blue. We're going to go install a battery so that we can see where we're at. We have nice music today. Go ahead and drop some ferrite in here. Need to either go buy or grab some magnetized ferrite somewhere. I'm just going to slip this battery in. A lot of this stuff is in temporary positions. I do tend to build that way. Temporary stuff and then more permanent stuff. Oops. I need the magnetized ferrite for that. I think there's a little bit in the GTT. Yeah, there's enough for a battery. We're just gonna plunk that right there. And then we'll come over here. And wire it. So did I get it? I don't think I got that. Let's try that again. There we go. You can see that's powering right straight up. Now we have 836,000 power. We're using 213,000 power for that one device. And for this, just these two containers right here. I'll drop that in there. Oops, it's not enough. Not enough carbon. There we go. Now I hate to put down a large refiner right now. I'm just going to have to pick it up and move it. And containers. And let's see how much Frostport we have with us. Here's 2,000 Frostport. Alright. Now you want to decide on what the design of your base is going to be. So we can do rows. I'm just going to get up above this right here. It looks like I'm going to have to take out this part of where I put the GTT and extend that hallway a little bit further because it doesn't look like there's enough room right there for a biodome. So I'm going to do that. And every single time you add a biodome, once these things are connected like this, it's going to draw power from that little bit of power. And so we want to watch out for that. And I'll probably move the landing pad as well. Oh, there's a piece of floor down there. So what I think I'd like to do is I think I'll do 20 stasis devices, which means we need 20 biodomes for circuit boards and 20 biodomes for the living glass, which means we only need 40 biodomes. Let's move this over in here. Grab a little bit more. Do it again. So I need to move this stuff out of the way. Let's see if I have enough room here. Oh, here's a bunch of rare. I knew I had rare element. I don't need that, and I don't need that. All right. Let's go ahead and harvest. I have enough room for it all. We do. Now when I delete this stuff, I'll get the plants and the dioxide back. Ah, inventory full. Let's put it into storage. Since there's only 2 storage containers here, it should be going to these that are right here. There we go. And we lost the power. Why did we lose the power? because the power is connected to a biodome. So let's grab the power line. There it is right there. And I'm going to just drag it over here temporarily. And we'll put it on the ground. And then up there we go. Alright, let's see where all this stuff went. Most of it's in there. And there's the rest of it. Oh, I actually have the right biodome with me. Let's go ahead and drop the frost crystal. And the extra dioxide. And figure out where all the glass went. Here's some of it. The ship is full of metal. Alright, that's all of the glass from there. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to take this out. I'm actually going to take the GTT manually so that I get those microprocessors back. And we're going to take this away. And now we have even more supplies on us. Pure ferrite and, oops, let's get that out of there. Oh, we actually need that. I'll just let it run. We'll grab that as well. Okay. Now, I think I will move the ship and the landing pad as well. Take the landing pad manually away. That is the original 3 plus the glitched in 3. Okay. Now we need room. And I think I want to start right here. I'm not going to do all of this right now. I'm just showing you a representation of it. Okay, the first thing that we need is a hallway. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and send that one through. And then put it in a 4-way. It almost fell off. And a hallway going that way. And I think I will go ahead and start in that direction. So, biodome. And then we're going to go inside, I think. Be faster. Hallway. Biodome. Hallway. Biodome. Hallway. Now we need some glass. X25. And a hallway. Is that 4? Yep. All right. There we go. So we got 4. So we're going to go 4, come back 4, go back 4, go back 4. That's an uneven number. Go that way, then this way, and that way, then back. So we need to do 5. Let's see if I got this right here. And then we're going to turn the corner here. Put a biodome in. Turn the corner here. Oops, ran out of glass. Just make a little bit more. Okay, so now we have 10 biodomes, and they are powered by that little tiny bit of power that I added over there. And what I need to do next is add way more power before I start adding more biodomes. But I do want to get circuit boards growing, so that'll be my next step after we add in the extension over to the paraffinium. And we're going to do the same exact thing to get to the paraffinium. So we actually have oxygen out there as well. So we're going to go back, make sure that we have enough ferrite. I don't think that's enough ferrite. Let's see what we can do about that. I think I forgot to mention yesterday, base computer, biodomes, teleporter. Those are the teleporter I didn't mention. You need a teleporter right away so that you can go buy stuff more easily. Your planetary GTT isn't going to have as much stuff to buy as the space station will. Now, in Permadeath, there's a lot of these trips. You can load it all into a hauler and use the hauler, or that's not enough, or put it into an exocraft. Exocraft have a lot of space as well. And let's not go back to Euclid. We'll just go there. If you go to wealthy systems, you can buy even more. You can also grind out this material, although I warn you, it's going to take a lot unless you have a rusted metal farm, which I don't have anywhere. And that, of course, involves refining the rusted metal, which is not a big deal. There we go. I doubt I can hold that. We'll see how much we can hold here. That's plenty. I'm going to end up having to put ferrite away. Oops. Let's go back down to what did I do there? Hit the wrong button. Here we go. Nice TAM stasis device. It's not nearly as much fun as that ice planet. But I'm just trying to give you the basic idea of how to set this all up so that you can see it, the individual steps. Nitrogen, here we go. Tomorrow we're gonna start traveling towards, I think it's pretty much the opposite side of the galaxy. So when I get back to exploring, all right, let's go. Wait for the game to settle down. Let's extend the base out to that paraffinium. And I'm going to start right here. Ship is in the way. Let's start right here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing all the way out to the paraffinium. Here we go. Now I've been up to the space station, so we might have to reload once we get outside of the 300 or so U's that the base computer actually functions. And we'll know because the build menu will shut off. Lots of things can cause it. Shutting your game down and restarting, or, you know, shutting it down for the day and coming back the next day, going to the space station, traveling, warping, teleporting, black holes, all kinds of things can stop you from being able to extend your base. But like I said, all you got to do is a manual save, reload, and it'll come right back on. Oh, that's not ripe yet. That's weird. Usually those plants re-ripen after a couple of hours. Yep, see, you can see now in the center of my screen that my actual build menu has shut off. We're back to where the build menu is. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to set down our save point, make a manual save, and reload. I learned that trick from Sword. Yeah, this only takes a couple of seconds. Here we go. Turned me around. All right. Turn that back on. Go back to the build part. And on we go. You can eliminate some of these when you're stringing the wire. If you think they're too close to each other, or if your base becomes too complex. Or if you think they're too far apart, you can add more. Just set that right next to the beacon. Alrighty. Now we need to hone in a little bit on this paraffinium deposit. So we're going to go back in to our scanner. I'm really actually quite far away from it. It's an A class, so it's much more powerful. So we won't need nearly as many. Now we're at 78, 77. Looks like we kind of got it pretty well square on. Oh, there's a 79 right here. And I'm going to drop this piece right here. Boom. Then we'll go over to mineral extractor. We need chromatic metal for that. And did I have any? Only 9? If I killed anybody? I have. Let's call the ship. Okay. Put in a little bit more there. And I'm only putting in the first one. Later on, I'll either build a scaffolding so that I can get up much higher, or I will go ahead and just use the build camera to get up as high as I need to go. Now we're not going to connect this to the power. We're just going to string the wire as we go back to the base. So we'll start right here and string the wire because we don't have the power yet. My game keeps freezing. Galaxy of Games is seriously unstable. Steam was unstable this morning, and Galaxy of Games is always unstable, sadly. I'm going to be buying the game again on Steam, and this save, Perma 2020, is going to be the only thing that's on Galaxy of Games. I should have just done it on Steam in the first place. It was a competition to see which one would have the game on sale first. Now, Sword puts up a light right here and connects the lights. And that looks nice too. You can also bury these lines underground by digging a hole at the beginning, digging a hole at the end. But you have to dig the 2 holes and then string the wire, because if you let go of the wire, it's gonna be either above ground or it'll be stuck somewhere. Right. We now have all of the elements necessary for this part. Oh, yeah, I was going to bring it right there. That's all right. You see that very first wire is underground. There's a hole right there. Okay, so we have biodomes going in. We have a battery to check on our power, and we're using 2/3 of it right now for just those biodomes and those 2 containers. We have our nitrogen hotspot started. We can just fly there and build now. We have our paraffinium hotspot started. Again, we can just run over there and start building now. And we've established where we're going to build the biodomes. I'm going to do a run-through setup the way that Sword does, so that as you're harvesting, you just run right straight through them, holding down the harvest button. And that takes a lot of patience in permadeath because there's not a lot of room. And the best thing to do is to have these containers set up, dump everything out of your suit, out of your cargo, into containers, except for what you need to survive. Now, like on that cold planet, we'll continue to carry dioxide, sodium, and oxygen, but everything else will go into containers, and then you harvest. You make everything, and then you put each thing into containers as you harvest, and we'll get around to that. I'll show you that on a later episode. Alright, you guys, the beginning of a big industrial base, a stasis farm base. I'll show you this when it's complete, and if you have any questions about how to do any of this, I'll be happy to do more of this on video. Just let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow we're going to start traveling and exploring, and I don't have a void egg yet. I do have the quicksilver for it though, so we might go after that as well. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.